And we are live on the SideQuest with me, Dolly Domofsky. You can see the name there, and Zach Eyebrows. Okay, Quest. That's it. There you go.
That's me.
You got it, baby. You got it, baby. I wish I could zoom in. For some reason, I'm using NVIDIA Broadcast again, and I can't zoom in with this camera anymore. I don't know what happened to the NVIDIA Broadcast.
You look far away.
I gotta get close like this, and you can see my shiny forehead, my rapidly disappearing hair. But whatever. It's all good. Hey, Zach, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. Been a busy, fun week. Nothing to complain about. I've been playing a lot of games, which is always good. So.
Yeah. It's happening. It's officially game season.
It's been game season all year. This year's been stacked. But October has something has two or three things a week. There's two or three games that look good. It's pretty daunting.
It really is. It really is. Especially with backlogs, and then you're like, crap, I got to get through all this stuff and reviews, and we've been getting some good review codes and all that kind of stuff. I know, and a lot of folks are working on stuff here and there. I think I'm gonna try to get you a couple more things here pretty quickly, and it's happening, and it's not going to get any easier. I mean, we've been talking about the delays, but essentially we know what's happening through March of 2022 with announced dates, but there's still so much. I mean, I think last week we were kind of talking a little bit about Splatoon and how they were showing enough of Splatoon, how that's probably going to be out in the springtime because that game looks like it's really, really close to completion. And Nintendo's what was the other thing that they talked about, that they're publishing another game that they have that this is coming out? Kirby is supposed to be spring as well. Yeah. So it's and that's just Nintendo, and then you got
Arceus Sony, as well.
Arceus, and then you got just tons of stuff coming out. You got Monhun Rise coming for PC. You just got so many things coming out next year. That
Ghostwire Tokyo.
Ghostwire Tokyo. Good Lord.
That's already more games Horizon, that sound good than usual.
Oh, geez. And then Elden Ring. I'm surprised that hasn't been delayed already, but who knows? And then there's always surprises. When Saints Row comes out next year at that time. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
It's going to be bonkers.
Dude, every year I always... Usually, I play a bunch of games throughout the year, and the games I like to put on on my backlog to play towards the end of the year, because usually in November, December, it's there's nothing coming out. So I'm like, okay, now I can dedicate all my time to these RPGs I played a bit, or these smaller games.
Taylor Bliss.
And so now it's okay, so I have Monster Hunter Stories 2 that I want to play, that I was going to save to the fall. I have some other RPGs I want to play, but then now there's Final Fantasy 14 coming out in November.
Yeah.
So it's just I'm going to have no time to finish my backlog like I usually do.
Taylor's already got fans saying hey to Taylor, but
we
didn't get Playland didn't say hey Dolly or hey Zach. It was hey,
he said
Taylor.
He said hey guys.
Yeah, it could be anybody.
Hey Taylor specifically.
What's up, Playland? Good to see you again.
Thanks for the bits and the donation.
JJ, how's it going, man?
JJ, we can't hear you.
JJ,
he's muted.
He's son of a bitch.
Anyway, moving on from JJ. He's boring anyway. What were we talking about?
Moving on from JJ. We were just talking about how crazy this year's October already is.
Yeah, Zach and I were chatting a little bit earlier. Final Fantasy 14 dropping is actually a huge problem.
Yeah.
But the thing that's even crazier is there are 10 games I could gladly put on my top 10 of the year that I've already played. But there's more things I want to play that I know could potentially make it on that list. 2021 is the craziest year in gaming I think I've experienced in a while. It's
all over the place.
A friend of mine was just reaching out, just pinged me on something. He was like, hey, have you played the Outer Wilds? And then I remembered that the DLC for Outer Wilds came about, and the fact that I haven't played the original yet, and I'm like,
yeah, same.
It is an issue.
Yeah,
it really is.
And it doesn't help that I'm replaying through Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm doing my 100% run in that game, and I have all these other games I want to play, but it's like
anymore.
No, I'm playing my PS4 version, but it's like I don't know. Like I usually finish up all the games I want to play every year in the last 2 months, and it's not going to happen.
There's content in Cruelty Squad you still haven't done.
I know,
like a lot of it.
I know.
I've got to start Cruelty Squad because I did pick it up, so I'm excited to actually play it.
Like, I know I'm going to finish Cruelty Squad 100% before the year is over. Like, I already know kind of where that game's going to be in my top of the year. It's like, it's going to be there no matter what. But I know I need to beat it. So it's like, that's like the most important game to me to finish. And Monster Hunter Stories 2. Those are my, like, two, like, highlights of the year. But there's, like, two games I played the demos of this last week that I'm, like, very excited about, so I don't even know.
Steam demos or
Steam demos. There's this game I'm gonna talk about that's like it's exciting.
So, well, we'll get into the actual games that we're playing and excited about in a moment here. We'll just keep laughing at JJ as he does tech support down over in the corner over there.
Is it working now?
Oh, you got it. Yeah, it's working. There you
go. Incredible.
Yeah.
Are you wearing a Kraken jersey there?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Is it a hoodie or a jersey? That is awesome.
It's a jersey. Excuse me. It's a sweater. It's a sweater.
Yes, I'm sorry, sweater. Correct. Yeah, I got a Red Wing sweater, but I'm gonna pick up a Kraken kit as well. Good times. Welcome, JJ. Now we can actually hear your beautiful voice. Yeah, can you hear me now? It's gonna be a good show because we've all been playing the same game. I guess it's the first that we've all been playing the same game. Some of us
we got to talk about news first, right?
Let's get into news, actual news. I don't know if there's a ton of actual news, but I'll start with this one. The Grand Theft Auto Trilogy.
Oh yeah,
officially announced. Let me share this on SideQuesting.com. You guys may have heard of it. Bam. So there it is. Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Remaster Collection announced. Don't worry about that. It's just a quick little video. It says it's announced. But it's coming. They haven't given a date, but apparently the boxed versions have been leaking for like December. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a December release.
I was gonna say if box copies are leaking, that means probably within like the next 3 months. Because that means
they're pulling the digital versions out already this week.
Right.
There's like a mass there's like an event happening where people are like, go out and buy the digital versions right now on Steam while you can. But are you guys interested in this?
No.
It depends on what they do. It depends on what they do, right? Because I want to play GTA 3, but the gameplay, like the game feels like shit, right? Like that's just kind of like it's got old gen camera problems and control issues.
Yeah.
So if those things haven't been touched, what is there to go back to? It's still got good content, and it's kind of like the origin of a lot of. But what would I get other than the many other ways to play GTA 3 that already exist?
Exactly. It's just it depends on what the upgrades are. Because if it's like an actual in GTA 5 engine type of thing, it could be interesting. I wouldn't mind walking around and kind of seeing how they
realize that world
game. Yeah. But besides that, I'm not interested in the story or the gameplay at all. So
I would if they do nothing to it, I would still be interested in the Switch version, I guess. But
just to have it portable.
But not at a $60 pop or something. It'll be $30 at some point, and that seems more like.
These are old games, but I don't know. I mean, it's at least it finally got announced, so there's nobody questioning it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is here is a 10th anniversary trailer for Grand Theft Auto 3 from 9 years ago.
That's disgusting.
How old this game is. 10th, we're celebrating.
I mean, how far away are we from the 10th anniversary of GTA 5? We can't be that far,
No, we're not. You're
No?
right.
2 years.
right? Was it
Yeah.
2013, 2014?
2013. Yep.
2013 in
September.
October, I
Wow.
think. Yeah.
September.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's like, yeah. I mean, what if GTA 3? These like new versions are just inside of GTA 5. You just like go into like it just like like they
That would
could
be the
totally
coolest thing.
do
That would be the coolest thing that they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like it wouldn't be multiplayer, but it'd be like an instance area for you to like go to. I think
Yeah.
that would be cool.
Look
But
at these
it's not good. But
graphics.
it's not going
These
to do
are
that.
some graphics, guys.
Dude, this game looks better than I remember it looking.
Yeah, it actually kind of does. I was actually thinking the same thing. It gives me huge Max Payne 1 vibes. Actually, it reminds me a lot of the way that game was animated and
They have the
and
same
kind of
face.
rasterized.
Sure. Well, there
What
you
about
go.
other news?
GTA. Let's see other news. I'm looking at.
We can always talk about Activision.
Yeah,
We'll get
that's
there.
another
You'll get there in
one.
just a second. There's a free-to-play Ghost Recon title coming. Ghost
Dude,
Recon.
what are they doing with that series?
Stinky.
Like all the literally every fan's like, I want a third-person tactical shooter. And they're like, no, you want a first-person shooter, and we're
Yeah,
gonna give it to you.
First person.
Yeah.
You want a first-person free-to-play
Open
Yeah.
world
game?
game.
Open world
My
game.
thing about it is that like look at the overall landscape of games, right? And think about what Ghost Recon was, and it, like, where does it differentiate itself from other
It doesn't.
FPS titles in the market now?
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
we have Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Like that's
Right.
the tour de force like tactical shooter. Like you can't really compete against that game. You have Counter-Strike Go. Like you have Valorant. Like you can't compete against those three games.
Yeah. It really is the, hey guys, remember how much you loved Gra? Well, we're not giving you that.
Well, also, like, they're not going to compete against Rainbow. Like, they make Rainbow Six. Like, they don't need to compete against it. It's just like,
True. Oh yeah, I've completely forgot.
Yeah.
but like, it's, I don't know. I guess Ghost Recon always was something different, so why not just keep it something different and at least experiment with it? There are no specific expectations about what a Ghost Recon game really is because it's changed so much over the years. So like, why not do something interesting and new with it other than, I mean, like, I guess maybe someone's going to make the argument that some of the stuff that we're seeing in this trailer is interesting and new. I would just probably disagree.
I mean,
But-
it looks like Battlefield and Call of Duty Warzone or whatever, the Battle Royale one combined.
Right.
Like that's literally what it is.
Ubisoft really, really, really loves the zoom out of a map graphic for every game they do.
I mean, they've been doing it for a long time, JJ.
Yeah, they just love it.
They've
so
been
much.
zooming out on
Like,
maps and delivering it
Love it.
new information on an area that you've recently discovered for 20 years. So
just
they're
love
not going
it.
to stop
It-
now.
Yeah, it's their trope. They got to keep
Well,
it
like,
going.
dude, whoever does their trailers they should intentionally like cut them all the same. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's true.
Ubisoft games are noticeable from 1,000 miles away every time.
Yep.
Well, I mean, yeah, they are. But Ubisoft is definitely going. They say they're going to more of the games as a service, free to play.
All their games are now, yeah.
All
Yeah,
their games
that's
are. Yeah.
like so. This next Assassin's Creed, the next one we see is going to be a games as a service. Like it could even be with a $60 price tag, like the Avengers game too, which would be fun.
God.
Hey,
I
speaking of Avengers,
I feel like incorporating more of those games is fine, but
Yeah.
I feel like there's specific expectations on studios like Ubisoft and other AAAs where it's not your whole catalog, and I just can't imagine that it works. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know.
I think
Ubisoft's ready to prove me wrong. So
I think the one game they should do that for is For Honor, and they just haven't for whatever
yeah,
reason. 'Cause
that's like
game
the
out
that's
there.
the game that actually has maintained. Well, I mean, other games have maintained popularity in their library, but it's like I feel like that one's kind of like ripe for it comparatively, and like people the the enthusiastic people that are still playing it are like, yes, that's what we want. Please deliver it to us. And they're just like, no.
Nah.
That's okay. We'll make Assassin's Creed instead.
They could have done something with the crew if they really actually put their hearts to it. But they just kind of let the crew stumble around and then really
anything that they would have done for crew would have been flop. Let's be honest. We know it. There's no way.
Is that a game Riders Republic, a Ubisoft game? Yeah, Riders Republic's coming out like it's already out.
It's out.
That'll to much fanfare. Everybody remember the fanfare.
But no, like I was watching a podcast today and they were talking about it, and it's like that seems like a prime opportunity for a free-to-play type of game where you charge people for content. Like say, hey, you want this part of the map? Pay $20. Like sure, whatever. But it's like those weird sports games that have like the Ghost Trials and like the weird open multiplayer world things. Like that makes sense for games as a service, but I can't imagine Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, or like
right.
It's weird.
Well, like, nobody probably realizes it, but like Trackmania is one of their like biggest money makers that they have.
Wow.
It's like you go on Trackmania and it's just the economy there is ridiculous. It's a game as a service, and they do like the newest one has like battle passes and things like it's fun. Always high up there like in like gameplay charts and stuff.
Well, speaking of games as a service, one that I did want to touch on that Taylor actually briefly mentioned was Avengers. You can now pay for XP boosts and
cool.
Character, baby.
Well, I mean, and that in and of itself isn't quite as shitty as the other things that happened before that, which was where they systematically changed the way that XP worked in the video game, that made XP more difficult to obtain. And it's just like, oh, cool. So we made it harder to do, and now we've introduced a way to get that stuff that is harder to get back by paying money.
It makes no sense for the game either, because that stuff isn't the stuff that you're paying real money for anyways. So they're just, all it's doing is fucking you out of playing like
dog, just please make the game fun to play, please.
Okay,
please.
I have something to say, right? So I downloaded all 120 gigabytes of this game, and I wanted to just see how it played, right? And I didn't want to sit through an hour long of walking through cutscenes to experience what the gameplay was like. So I had to find there's this weird like trials thing that you can do as Iron Man on the ship. It's like post game content, and I played that, and it's fun to play. I like how it feels, but I'm not willing to sit through the story to get to the actual game.
They actually like the initiative stuff, the Avengers initiative. There's like the menu options. It tells you when you select it, this is going to show you the post-game content. I hope you're aware of that.
And I said,
no. And then it just
I was like, yes, please.
Yeah, then it just lets you play whatever the fuck you want. And you can jump. Yeah. The problem is if you want to do like the side, like, and you can just jump right into the DLC stuff, which is, it's in terms of like storyline stuff, the extra stuff they've been doing later has been way better because it's shorter and it's more, it's quick. They get out the exposition much faster. It feels surprising. I was shocked at how good it felt to play. Like I was pleasantly surprised. Once you figure it out, and once you've got your guy like leveled up, unfortunately, really, like, there's some cool combo shit you can do in that game, which is why it's great to just play it on PC, because you can just download a trainer and just boost your XP to hell and back and go to the thing.
I wanted to play Captain America. Like, he was the one I wanted to play, but I didn't have it in me. I was like, you know what? This game feels fine. Okay.
Yeah. They don't, if you play it, like, if you just play normal, you don't get Captain America until the campaign's pretty much over. It's obnoxious. Still don't know what Spider-Man's like. Still don't know what
he's still not even there, whatever. Anyways, let's talk about
I got one. We got couple more stories. I got one specific that, and mine is this is a real fun one. I know you guys are all into those like hot new gaming consoles, but have you guys considered buying the games before the gaming console is out? That's what Intellivision wants you to do with the Amico.
Oh no!
You can buy the game.
Oh no!
And have the game delivered before the console is even released, baby. Look at that.
Oh wait, a pack of 8 for what was the price of the pack of 8?
150, baby.
Oh, okay, that's it. Okay.
Have you seen what the games look like?
I mean,
have you seen...
I'm just thinking about price per video game.
Like brain
duel.
They're all phone games. Every single last one of them.
Yeah. I mean, they're using what? They're using a phone sock from 2014 or something like that, I think.
You know what the best part about this is nowhere when you're clicking around on here, you get to see the boxes. You don't get to actually click to find out what the game actually looks like or anything else about the game except
it's just a really cool retro box art, and that's all.
These boxes are NFTs, dude.
Like, here's the Evel Knievel. You know what? Box actually, I think it's kind of badass.
That's a nice,
even rocket car. Here's the info on it. Dare to attempt impossible feats. Unlock multiple vehicles and outfits, or jump Snake Canyon. Like, is it a 2D game, 3D? I don't know. I have no effing idea.
Is it Trials or Excite Bike?
Exactly.
What the fuck is this?
Yes. There you go.
Let's be real. You're buying these boxes to be collector's items, and that's it. That is the whole point of this.
Well, apparently, from what people are saying is that these they're essentially NFC cards.
Yeah.
So it's RFID game card.
Yeah.
That has to check in to let you play. So to let you download the game, get it on your console, has to check in so that if somebody else buys or takes the card from you, if you lose the card, whatever, you essentially, even though the game is downloaded on your console, it is no longer.
I mean, this is the same thing that happens with PS4s if you don't put the disc back in, and if you install it off disk media and stuff like that. It's the same idea. So I mean, we can all think that it's BS or whatever, but it's the same thing that other consoles are doing. Just these are just cards instead of discs.
Like selling you a gift card that you have to insert every time you.
Exactly.
I mean, they sell them digitally too, right?
You can get the game digitally for sure. Yep.
This thing is going to be emulated to shit within 6 hours of it releasing.
Yeah.
Well, they just announced the Atari, the VCS, which is a hot seller right now. But I'm actually kind of intrigued with that one because they said, you can side load Windows and Linux on there if you guys want.
The entire marketing for it is that it's just a low priced PC that happens to have.
What's the price?
Yeah,
for the VCS.
Yeah,
it's like $400 for like the top of the line one.
Yep.
Wow, cheap.
Yeah.
You guys buy the Steam Deck?
Yeah, just the same price as a Steam Deck.
Right?
Here's the situation that I'm in. Speaking of Steam Decks, Steam Deck pre-ordered. I got my $5, and I somehow got first in line, so I'll be getting that sucker in December. Upstairs, I have an Xbox Series X sitting up there that I managed to snag. Thank you, Wario64. Unopened because. Also, thank you to Wario64. I managed to pre-order the Xbox Series X Halo Edition. So both those are going to arrive. And then I also have, again, thank you to Wario64 sitting up there also, again, unopened, the Switch OLED. And finally, to top it all off, I have the Playdate? Is that little thing with the little crank?
Yeah.
I guess I got one of those pre-ordered. My wife's probably pretty pissed at me for racking up the credit card, but I'm definitely not keeping all these. I'm trying to figure out which one I want because, as is the case, every time a new console comes out, I'm like, you order from as many places as you can because you don't trust one single order to arrive on time, and I just usually cancel the other orders. But this is a bunch of different consoles that I had ordered from across the board, and apparently they're all so far going to be arriving around the same time. So I'm trying to figure out which one I'm keeping and which one I'm just sending it back.
I don't understand how you're worse than. I don't understand how you're worse than me at this, but yet here you are.
I have not got the Amico pre-ordered yet.
I am in full post mode where I am not buying any consoles until like they're 2 years into the life cycle. I started with I guess PS4 and Xbox One was when I started that, and I'm never going back. Granted, I have a gaming PC, so it's like it's a lot easier because I'm never necessarily out of it other than console exclusives.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, say I'm very, very good chance that I'm not keeping that Switch because I tried to weigh the nice thing about having a Switch is I could trade in or I could sell my Animal Crossing Switch to cover the pay for the OLED one, right? You sell one and it's almost enough money to be able to cover the OLED version. So I'm not super worried about that. But I may not keep the OLED version anyways. I might just send that back because the only reason I'm saying it or sell it to one of my buddies who might want it. Because the Animal Crossing one's going to be worth money later on, right? Because it's a special edition one. The OLED won't be worth anything in 30 years when I'm selling these suckers. But I have a gaming problem where I buy crap and I'm always.
You think?
Always. I will say this: I rack up a hell of a lot of bonus points across my cards and my memberships. So. At least there's that.
Hey, and what if you win that SpongeBob Xbox from that?
Oh yeah, then I'll have 3 Xbox. Oh Lord.
With absolutely at best 1 game you're gonna play on your Series X? Like what the fuck?
Well, it's funny because the Halo one looks just badass. So I may keep the Halo one because it just looks really cool. But then at the same time it's like I can play everything on the Xbox One, the OG Xbox One that I have, the launch Xbox One that still functions. So everything is still working on that. There's nothing, So I don't know. Yeah.
But you won't be playing Forza Horizon 5 in 4K.
No.
Yeah, not in 4K, but it'll still be in
no.
It's gonna be how?
Oh no!
How?
That one does kind of hurt. That one does kind of.
I can't play Metroid Dread at 4K.
I don't think we'll be able to do that ever. There's Activision news.
Dude, they're getting fucked.
Whacktivision.
Yeah, so I think this was weeks ago we talked about the fact that they had reached a settlement with California State regarding Title 7 complaints.
Yeah.
And what was it? Was it today that the U.S. federal government came out and it was like, we very much don't want you to do this because part of it was releasing liability between complainants on the other case and releasing Activision from liability there, and also probably securing them in NDAs. And so obviously the federal government does not want them to do that because that will make their case harder to do. And also they probably have the wherewithal to create an actual injunction that will stop that settlement from going through. So everybody at Activision resumes sweating immediately, and investors probably are going to be, I guess, I don't know, maybe they had settled down before, but they'll go back down. You know what? I didn't check to see how Activision stock is doing after that announcement.
It went down
today. I can't believe it.
What? Never.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
looking a little stinky over there.
Mm-hmm. You know what though? It's still
good.
Guess what? It bounced back after the news in September. I would probably expect that it's going to do it again. Then again, they are trending down for the 6 months. Anyway, we don't need to go into this. Isn't a financial podcast, but financial Activision continues to be what they are, and no amount of whatever they've tried to do recently is going to change that. So,
dude, no. The wildest thing that happened recently is the director for World of Warcraft is actually a guy that plays the game, which is like a huge thing for the players. Like, oh my god, a guy who understands the game is finally going to be behind the game. Cool. Isn't that crazy? That's like big news for fans of WoW. Like a guy who plays the game is going to oh my gosh. Like,
yeah, the problem is that it, by all appearances, he doesn't want to be doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the other thing that should be a kind of a tell where the guy who plays the game is like, I want to be the one directing it.
I know what you assholes are like. I don't want to be the one that's responsible.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, dude. I was talking with Taylor today in DMs. We were talking about Final Fantasy 14 and how they give you so much access to the info inside of the game. And they do that so you don't talk to them about the shit inside of the game. Like they give you everything, so you just leave them alone. Like because the guy who directs that game is a gamer and he knows how all that works. So he just like here's the stuff. Don't ask us for anything. Bye. Like so, yeah. It's a very distinct like understanding of gamers. That's really cool. But yeah. Besides that, I think that's all the news. I mean, I was going to say they announced the soundtrack for Guardians of the Galaxy Square Enix game.
There you go.
Which has
Never gonna give you up.
Has Rick Astley, Motley Crue, Blue Oyster Cult, Wham, and more.
I mean, you know, it's like
it fits.
They're chasing the feel. I think of the question is, I mean, like, are they going to pigeonhole like certain aspects of the aesthetic and be like, yes, we did it, we recreated it, or not? So I mean, it'll remain to be seen. But my interest in that game has gone up from all the early hands-on impressions I've seen. People are like pretty positive about it, which is kind of shocking. But the thing that's weird to me is the game seems to lean pretty heavy into Rocket and Peter Quill. Nobody else is really like a character. Like there's like no Gamora doing anything. There's no like Groot just as Groot. Like he's not really like the James Gunn from a media perspective, right?
What I was just saying, like for the game.
Well, yeah, but like of we've seen from media.
Yeah, no, it's just like, but like in the trailers, they all have those beats. There's no Gamora beat. She's just like there. Like
yeah, I think it's because like traditionally, I mean, I'm assuming that they're basing a lot of it off movies, right? As far as trying to capture the feel and aesthetic, and those are kind of the two comedy characters. And while everybody kind of like has their jokes, those are the two true comedic reliefs, and that just seems to be, in my opinion at least, where they were going with all of their trailer and most media marketing stuff. But I mean, trust me, I'm hoping that that's it, and it's just like, oh look, the rest are also characters. It's just that they weren't funny enough to put in the trailers. I think
it's just like a marketing thing. Like, hey, people like Rocket Raccoon, so here.
People do really like Rocket, so I mean that is not wrong.
Anyways. I think that might actually be it. Randy Pitchford left Gearbox. So
yeah.
Randy's gone.
Well,
he's not really gone.
He's not.
Still there, but
if anything, within the actual company, he kind of gave himself a promotion.
He did.
I'm a producer of these movies now.
Right. Because he's still high on the chain of like actual command of Gearbox, and he's also doing movie stuff like for their licensed Borderlands movies. So
now he can approve things at Gearbox and still have his like creative input, but not be like fully tied to it. And he gets to do movies.
Hell yes!
So
it's ultimate dream job.
So literally just become the Walt Disney of his own studio.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. Magic tricks for everyone.
I'm sure it'll go great.
It'll go so well. Hey, let's move on to what we've been playing. And before we get into the big one that we've been all playing, I want to talk about. I just found out my my laptop is magnetizer. My pen is this. Sorry, I turned into a 6-year-old really quickly there. I've been playing a game that JJ has really wanted to find out about my opinion on it.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. I'll play this video trailer. Hot Wheels Unleashed. We got the code for Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Leading the way.
And yes, I've got to say this is a Hot Wheels game. No, this is a great game. This is really fun. I'm having a blast. Controls are neither here nor there. It's not like a real racing game. They actually do sort of feel like stiff cars. Like you're not doing
like it's a straight axle on plastic wheels.
It really does kind of feel like a straight axle on plastic wheels.
And the plastic like texture on the roads.
Yep. The weird thing is so we got the code for the game I think it was like a week and a half ago, and then the code that they sent us didn't work. It was already redeemed by somebody else. I've been getting that lately from a few different PR places where the code just does not work. But they sent us the correct code, loaded it up last weekend, played it nonstop last weekend, beginning of beginning and middle of last week, and I'm really digging this game. From the customization options where you can kind of create, update the livery on your cars to just the cool tracks. Look at that stuff. The cool tracks they have, the progression system, the raddest cars. I haven't messed around with the track builder enough, but it seems like it's got some weight to it. I know a lot of folks have been posting some really cool tracks online, but it's a great game. This is the second best racing game this year behind Forza. That's coming up. But I cannot recommend this game.
Name one other.
Excuse me.
JJ, name one other.
Cruisin' Blast came out, and that game.
You know what? I haven't played that yet. Good call. I haven't played it.
Jeff Grubb.
This is a ton of fun. This is a ton of fun. This is great for me as a Hot Wheels fan. I don't have my boxes and boxes of Hot Wheels. I have somewhere around well over 1,000 Hot Wheels cars. Every time I go to Kroger or Walmart, I'm always coming back with like 10 cars. Because they're 88 cents each.
Yeah, they're a buck, man.
They're a buck. Gas station, if I see a dollar store, I'm always grabbing it. So to see a lot of those cars.
Did you see that? I think it's whatever Mega Bloks is now does Lego versions of Hot Wheels cars now, like large scale. Yes, I saw. Awesome. I was at Target today and saw Bone Shaker and was very close to buying.
All right, I'm tempted now, but controls aside, because it does not control the best, but it's very. It's easy to understand when you are controlling. And the reason I say it's easy to understand, again, I'm just going to keep replaying this until I'll play it one more time. Every car has ratings. So every car has this is the speed, this is the braking, controls, torque, that kind of stuff. And they're very basic because they want kids to understand how to play this game. So it's like they use it in really easy terms, right? And it's because of that it really makes it easy to understand why these cars sort of react the way they do. Because you can have a car that has a ton of speed, but has shitty handling, and it really shows. And it's really difficult to control unless you upgrade the handling, which you can. As you progress through the game, there's like a campaign mode. As you progress to the campaign mode, which is just basically a bunch of races, plus there's some boss races, which are kind of badass too. As you progress to the campaign mode, you unlock things like gears, which you can update your, improve your car on or in car with. And so you can actually get the handling improved. And boy, there's like 5 or 6 spots for, 5 or 6 rating points for each of the categories. And boy, does that make a difference going from like 1 to like 2 to 3, because the handling will change, braking will change, speed will change. And I love it for that. And I love just the crazy cars. There's a lot of classic cars in there. They showed, like you mentioned, Bone Shaker. They have like a lot of production vehicles in there, and I love it. It's just so good. and I'll have my full kind of review. Yeah, the DeLorean is in it. I'll have my full review will be up there. Now the cool thing is the way you get new cars is you can you get those kind of the packs, right? Like a blind box essentially. And so after you get enough money, yeah, it's a gotcha. After you get enough money, you can go ahead and get one of those blind boxes, and let's say you get the same car again. Well, don't worry, you can actually disassemble that car and use all its parts and pieces to update your current car. So really cool, love it. It is it's in my I want to say it's in my top 5 of the year for sure, because I'm playing more and more games now. Right, I just got through Kena, Metroid, so it's in good company. It's a blast. I highly recommend it. It's so good. It's just fun. It's lighthearted. It's very easy to win races, even when you bump it up to like the hardest race level. It's still not difficult to win, which is good because it gives you just a little bit of a challenge. But the game actually starts you off on the easiest racing level because it's intended for kids to jump in. So they think the kids are gonna want to start with the lightest race, and they are, because they want to have some the capability to believe that they can win every race. Then you slowly ratchet it up from there, and of course the rewards grow as well. But Hot Wheels Unleashed, it's good. I mean, I would have a lot more to say, but there isn't, because it's Hot Wheels. It's on really cool looking tracks, and there's basement, there's garage. Like the basement track is kind of cool because you're going through. There's like pool tables or billiards tables. And there's like really cool wall design that you can flip around through there. And you can even update your own basement or garage, whatever it's called, with like new wallpaper. You can open up stuff and kind of customize your setting too. So yeah, so good. I love it.
I saw
in the comments, I will say yes, the DeLorean is in it. It is the time machine from Back to the Future. So yeah, it's in it.
Go ahead, Zach.
I saw the tracks like do this thing where you like have to like turn your car, right? So it's like the gravity changes. It looks really fun. It's
kind of cool because you'll come up to a point where like your first couple of races, they kind of give you the really simple little tutorials, like, hey, if you're coming up to you're going to be coming up to loops, you'll want to boost. And you kind of build up. Every car has a different type of boost system. Some just one long drawn out boost. Some you could do like really short bursts of speed. But either way, you get up to one of these loops, or you're going upside down. You're doing like a rotation in the air, and you have to boost at the right time. Otherwise, your car will. It won't necessarily fall off, but it'll really slow down and then kind of roll back down the thing. So you really want to save your boost and it takes knowing the tracks, like a couple of races, a couple laps to really understand where those loops are and stuff. But it's so good. I'm kind of bummed that we got a review code for this, because I wanted to go out and buy the game so I can get a cool Hot Wheels car that comes with it. Because some of them come with Hot Wheels cars. But it's one of those games that's gonna be on sale during Black Friday for like $30, whatever, $39.
Probably less.
Probably less. Yeah. Definitely pick it up. It's surprisingly cool. There's this whole there's a whole bunch of games right now that are kid IPs that have become, that are being done really well. And I'm bringing this up because there's a Smurfs one that actually looks kind of cool, stupidly cool. There's this game. I put a list together of some of them, and then there's a game that's a fighting game that looks like it's really good. It's a Nickelodeon-based fighting game, and I know this person has been playing it. I'm pointing. Look how long my finger looks, by the way. Holy crap! Look at
that. Get that thing out of my face.
Oh my god, this is awesome. Go ahead,
dude. This game is I can't describe what this game has done to the Smash community. It's like it's revitalized people's passion for the game, which is like rare to. It's like kind of like crazy to say, but it's gone. The community's been pretty pessimistic about the series for a while, like the competitive side, and this game has really just came in with like open arms, said, hey, like we'll support you. We love you. We'll be your friends. And just seeing these professional Smash players kind of like just fall in love with this game and run tournaments, fund tournaments has been really fun. It's really cool. The game's population has quadrupled since launch, so it's like it has a pretty sizable amount of players on PC, which is good. It has more players than Rivals of Aether has ever had, which is like a pretty sizable game. But yeah, it's what Nickelodeon does is it simplifies the melee gameplay of Smash and makes it so, like, for example, in Melee, you have to do like 20 inputs to maybe do like a small string of like attacks to be competitive. And in this game, it consolidates that. It makes it easier to do those crazy moves. So just making it easier allows the game to even be faster than what Melee is. So it's like it's faster than Melee. It's less input heavy and easier to pick up. So it has this.
Yeah, I mean, that was always one of the classic issues of Melee, right? Was that like, hey, in order to become competitive and have fun, because like, you know, people that are competitive on it want everybody to kind of have a certain skill set in order to like even enjoy playing with that person.
Yeah.
That floor was very high for Melee by comparison.
Yes. So like now making the inputs easier, it's like a rising like tides like raise all ships type of thing where like everyone coming in is going to be better just because the game is easier to execute these high level tech skills. And it's just, yeah, it feels really good. It doesn't look the best, but that's kind of like on the back of my mind. Like I would rather have a technically competent fighting game than have something that looks really big and has this like Guilty Gear-esque kind of like
and
self-masturbatory kind of like aesthetic that those games have, you know. So
and Smash doesn't even really look the best either. Smash is like too generic.
No. Yeah, I mean like Smash looks fine. Like it does its job, right?
Are you finding a lot of players online to play against?
Yeah, no, it's really consistent. The online works perfect. Like I haven't had issues. It feels like I'm playing like right next to a friend. Like it's really solid. Yeah, there's a tournament next week, like $100,000 funded tournament that's pitting the top 10 Smash Melee players and Smash Ultimate players against each other. Yeah, so that'll be fun. There's a Smash Con coming up soon that the biggest prize pool is this Nickelodeon game funded by Nick themselves. They put $10,000 in. So hey, here. So at Smash Con, the biggest game is this game. So it just kind of shows their like dedication to it. I mean, and the devs even said like, hey, like their approach to them was, we want you to make a competitive fighter. That was their initial pitch. You can use any characters. Just make a competitive fighting game for us, and that's what they did. Like, and it's crazy to see how it's paid off.
It's so weird.
Yeah, and like I've been talking this game up for months, and I was gonna be really sad if it fell flat. But how well I know the community, I knew in my heart, I was like, dude, this game is what we need. Like, it has everything. It has the memes, it has the technical gameplay, it has these like weird design choices and characters that like have random RNG in their attacks that people go crazy over. But yeah, it's special. I'm really glad that this game is launched like as well as it has. And it's gonna get even bigger considering all these tournaments coming out with these big prize pools. And all these big streamers like Hbox, who's the best Melee person, Mango, who's like ranked number 3. They're hosting tournaments with their community, having brackets. Like it's just going to keep growing. It's going to find it's like already found its niche, which is crazy. But yeah, definitely pick it up. Like if you want to play something fun. So
it feels like this is like the first, like I have Rivals of Aether. I have a couple. It feels like this is the first one to actually capture like a mainstream appeal, I guess.
Yeah, so it's the thing that all these other platform fighters try and do is they try and be just Smash. Like they're like, we're just going to be Smash with our characters. Like, and that's not what people like. What this competitive community, which is kind of just like dry and needs something else. That's not what they look for in a Smash-like game. They want something that has a skill level and competent online. Like that's what this community needs, and they completely understood that. And then you have Rivals of Ether on the other end, which is like it's a good game, but it just there's something off about it that isn't there. Like it doesn't feel like it doesn't have that like feeling of Smash. This I don't know what they did with this. They're able to just nail it. This like it feels like Smash. It looks like Smash's like weird cousin. I'm obsessed with it. I've been talking like to myself about like what characters could they put in here because they have these weird ass characters that you can never like think of.
Well, and that's what
there's DLC coming, right? There's going to be new
characters. Definitely.
I think that's one of the things that goes for it that a lot of the other ripoffs don't have is that they do have Nickelodeon has such a library of iconic recognizable characters, not just characters that you recognize or whatever. Yeah. It's like everyone from every generation will recognize something from this game because it has Ren and Stimpy and it has the Loud House and things like that. It has like this great range of characters that there's somebody for everybody in it, just like Nintendo is able to do. Like for every Fire Emblem, there's a Mario, just whatever for whatever range of taste a game player has, there's something there for you. So
I was talking with my girlfriend about this game, and she said like, "Oh, I think Cartoon Network would have been a better choice." And I was like since those series are more action oriented, I said like I think the reason why the Nick Fighter works is because these characters aren't seen in fighting situations. Like it's like this like absurd look at Patrick Star. Like he's a grappling character in a fighting game. Like that's this like absurdity is what makes it special. Like
I think that's why people want to see it for sure.
And you have like an All Real Monsters character that nobody like has ever thought of in the last 20 years. And she's just in there, and like you have Helga Pataki from Hey Arnold for no reason. Like they just pick these weird characters and they're allowed to choose whoever they wanted. So it's just like they have this like buffet that they could just keep going at. And I'm just excited to see what they do. And the devs are pretty open and talking about the game on Twitter and with other players, which is a fresh thing to see for a competitive game, especially in this realm where the devs are talking with players like, I know the game's broken right now, but fighting games are supposed to be broken. Like there's supposed to be things that you need to learn to get around. Like there's supposed to be things that each character does better than the other one. So it's pretty sick. It's crazy that this game is gonna have this thriving community.
And let's be honest, we know that there's probably a good chance that they can get non-Nickelodeon characters into this thing because
that's what I've been thinking.
Yeah. We're gonna get Garfield in this. Like
Garfield,
that'd be amazing.
Dude. I think Garfield is definitely like a top tier pick for what could be in this game.
Yeah.
I've got this saved on my to buy list. It's gonna be one of my Black Friday purchases for sure.
Dude, JJ, do you remember those like puppet characters, those dudes that worked at the grill at like fast food burger place? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like you can see, like I don't know their names, but they could definitely be a character or that weird like 2D. What's that chick? The 2D like black and white girl. It's like a little yes. There's just so much potential they could throw in here. It's crazy.
You know who I want? I want characters from You Can't Do That on Television to appear in this game. I think that would be awesome.
Get one hyper realistic human in there. Just put like one of the Pete's in there. Or
If
something.
they had to choose a human, like an actual realistic looking human, just pick Josh from Drake and Josh.
There you go.
He'd be the perfect thing. I'm not even joking.
I was gonna say, if you remember the Adventures of
Will
Pete, you could do
Will Smith from Fresh
Artie,
Prince,
the strongest man in the world.
Yeah. Dude, like there's just so much. Angry Beavers, Cow and Chicken, I think is Nickelodeon, right? Is that
right? Yeah. Anything?
Yeah.
All those Kablam, Action League Now or whatever. Like,
oh my god!
I want Quail Man from Doug in this bad boy.
Unfortunately, that's Disney now, but
is it really? Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna say he could be like Wario, where he like builds his meter.
Doug was shit when Disney bought it, so the movie.
And then you can also add every SpongeBob character, like SpongeBob as a series. Like you can have Mr. Krabs, you can have Gary. Like Gary could definitely work. You could have Squid,
the hash-slinging slasher.
The hash-slinging slasher. You could have Merman. You could have Mrs. Merman. And, like that's what I'm saying. Like, but the fact that they're just these weird sitcom cartoon characters is like, it's like an absurd comedy level to it that I just love.
An absolute bottomless pit of Avatar and Korra characters to throw in there.
No, like I like just like playing the game just makes me giddy because it's like I'm playing as SpongeBob wave dashing and I have a spike. I'm like spiking people off the stage. Like I'm approaching like I'm Fox in Melee as SpongeBob and I'm taunting, doing like meme dances. Like it's so crazy.
Do they have any Jimmy Neutron characters?
No. They need to have Carl Weezer definitely, or Jimmy's.
You got
Jimmy's
that
dad.
in Invader Zim. Any Invader Zim?
They have Zim.
They do.
Zim,
okay.
They have Zim with gear. Yeah.
And he brings up a good point here in the comments. XJ9.
Yeah. Yeah. We need some Rocco's Modern Life. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the way this game sets itself up from being different from Smash is characters have light attacks and heavy attacks. So you have two different. So each character has 8 moves of a normal variety and then 4 moves of a special variety. So you have 12 moves to mess around with. So that's a lot. And they have different ways. They have different variations in the air too. So you have heavy air attacks, you have air light attacks, specials in the air. So these characters are vast. There's just a vast amount of knowledge that you need to have. And they even give you like frame stuff in the practice tool. Like you can see the frames.
Yeah, the frames and the hitboxes, and
which is like it doesn't have that. It's not in Smash. But yeah,
Smash actively doesn't want to be a competitive fighter. It does everything it possibly can to keep it away from being a competitive fighter.
And like that's sad, right? Like. Like it's kind of sad because it's like a competitive community and a casual community can coexist. Like that creates a thriving game.
Yeah, that's how it's always been. Like that's the point of fighting games since the dawn of time. Like,
and then you through all this like pressure of this like negative energy, you have this Diamond, this Nickelodeon fighting game popping out. That has more tech skill than a Melee game and a Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like it's like a very technical, heavy fighting game with Nickelodeon characters, and it's insane. Like I just can't wait to see where the meta grows. They've already patched out like some pretty devastating like jab preset nerd stuff that nobody cares about, but is pretty devastating. That isn't like a character's attack, but it's like, hey, this character can infinite someone just by pressing a button. So they've gotten rid of these like really cheesy things. So they're paying attention to the community. They're hosting these tournaments. They're having their first offline tournament at SmashCon, so that's going to be huge. Yeah, I'm just
SmashCon.
Dude, it's so funny. So funny.
they have the biggest prize pool at SmashCon, and
That's so funny.
Nickelodeon donated all the prize pool money to the people. So I was like, hey, here's $10,000. And then Smash is like, you don't get anything, but the prize pool is going to be $10 times the amount of entrants to this bracket. So you get to split that amongst yourselves. So yeah, it's going to be a fun next couple of years.
Awesome.
It's just, I just love when I find these weird games that end up being gold. Like, and I've had 2 this year, so I'm feeling pretty happy. So
you know what I was gonna say is you talked about a Smash like fighting game. We didn't actually touch on the Smash news from this week.
Oh yeah, Sora.
We'll briefly mention it with Sora.
It's great, dude. Crazy. What? Like, that's what all I have to say.
Awesome.
I love Sora.
It was very exciting to watch live when it dropped.
I like how they touch on the very first Smash Ultimate announcement with the Inkling.
The thing that's crazy is in the lyrics, if you read into it, like there's kind of referencing Sora, like in there, like there's this bringer of light, which is Sora, like it's what they're talking about. And if you just think about it, with Disney, they've had to been working on this contract for like years. So it's
like I think I said it in the Discord. It's like, if I know Disney very, very well, and there was 2 options. This was either just an easy breezy, like, whatever, or somebody wanted to kill themselves by the end of all of this.
Yeah,
like,
I think it was the kill themselves option.
I'm pretty sure it was that.
Did you imagine that they literally had it in the works since before it was released? Like literally from mid-development. And this is like a I believe that this is the way it goes. Can you imagine?
I would wager that they were probably talking about this with the Wii U version of this game.
No, I mean, because they got the character from that Wii U poll. Like,
it's probably literally from that poll they started working on it.
Yes.
And I would. To Zach's point, my favorite idea is that they create an entire single player, pseudo story around the idea that one day they might get Sora in it. Because like obviously they didn't have it on lock.
Yeah. Well, it's anyway, like because it was
a great trailer.
It works with the no. I'm just saying, like in the song, they got kind of the song that they're playing right now in this trailer.
The
Smash song, the choir, like it's saying it has references to like what Sora is called in the series. Like it says, like the bringer of light, the one that opens worlds. It's like that's him. Like it's just like it's crazy. But yeah.
What if Square Enix and Nintendo are working really close together, and the next Kingdom Hearts is Super Mario RPG 2? And
yo, shut the fuck up right now.
But yeah, so okay, I'll just talk about, since I've been playing Kingdom Hearts, I'll talk about that. I started back up my replay of the series, Kingdom Hearts 2, playing on the hardest difficulty called critical mode, proud mode, critical mode.
It's proud, and then critical mode is one of the it's one of the actual combat styles.
Did you start with 2, or did you
start with all 4?
Okay, you started with the first one. Okay.
Well, yeah, no. So I played 1 and Chain of Memories in the spring. I played those 2 in the spring.
Got it. Okay.
On the hardest difficulty. Then I'm starting up Kingdom Hearts 2, and that game is impressive. Like, it's such a solid, well-rounded, complex game. It doesn't get a lot of recognition outside of the community, but it's like a really high technical, like Devil May Cry character action game. It's intense. It's so good, and the way the play on the hardest difficulty changes the game is just amazing. But yeah, I'm just constantly impressed by replaying the series and seeing how much forethought they had to all the storylines that they've put in. Like playing as Roxas in the opening part of 2, you're basically seeing the end life of a character, like that you don't even know. But if you've played the series, like it's his death march. Like he's just walking to his death. His
death march, and you're literally spend half the time trying to get a fucking sea salt popsicle, dude. It's brutal.
He's just trying to like hang out with his friends, but he's in a computer simulation, and you know that he doesn't know that, but you also know he's like his only reason to live is to complete Sora. That's his only reason to even live. So, but your first time playing it, you're like, oh, this is cool. But knowing the story and seeing it, just like the crazy amount of forethought that they had to put these writing
also
into the game is insane.
Chain of Memories is fucking nutty.
Yeah,
it's nuts as a game. It's also nuts that they pitched it and launched it on GBA in 2005. Was that when Chain of Memories came out? When did Chain of Memories come out?
2004, maybe. It might have been even earlier.
2004. November 2004. It's like, we nailed it with Kingdom Hearts. This game is going to be good. And they're like, okay, cool. Sequel GBA. It's nutty. I actually can't believe that this is just like audience summary is 3.3 stars. I think Chain of Memories is actually pretty good. Especially as far as a GBA game is concerned. But maybe that's just me.
And then that system gets built on in Birth by Sleep. It's like it's even better. But yeah, I'm always impressed with this series. The way everything's planned out. The way this series has this like weird like oh, it's so complex, it's all so confusing. It's really not. You just have to play the games. It's not that hard. Just play them.
There's a lot of like with any lore game, if you wanted to like memorize every single little bit of it, there's an unreasonable amount of information. But that's true in my opinion of anything. Like you could tell me that about the Assassin's Creed series or literally anything. There's just like, oh wow, did you know about this and this? Or like, no, that's completely ridiculous. Mostly it's just easy to make fun of Kingdom Hearts because of Xehanort and the way that he exists in 4 different ways and shit like that. But
it's like the thing
and having Disney characters is just enough to make people.
It's just like, haha, and there's Disney characters. Can't take it seriously. Got them.
But it's like, so the series, the writing, like they know what they're doing. Like if you go into these games, you know that light is a physical manifestation. It's a real thing. Dark is a real thing that can be studied. And like if you know that those are real scientific studies, like physical things that can be impacted, and you go into this game and you know that when they're talking about light and darkness, they're talking about like actual like scientific things within their world. So it's like, but us as normal people, our concept of light and dark isn't the same as theirs. So it's hard kind of wrap your mind around it. But the games know that, and they do so much they do so much to make you confused on purpose. But then they retell it, and you're like, oh, duh. Like, it just makes sense. It's just, you just have to take it literally. Like, when they say, hey, the darkness is blah, 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 you're like, okay, this is what's happening. You can't just, like, magically kind of put your human mind to it. It's just so interesting. It's so interesting just to examine these games as you play them, and I'm just always impressed every time I go back to them and just finding out, like, getting interested, like, oh, why is this? And just Googling it and seeing, like, oh, yeah, this is why this happened, and blah, blah, blah.
Valley, how many Kingdom Hearts games have you played?
Have I played?
Yeah.
3. I played Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and then I think I started 2 or one of the DS ones, something like that. But I've got the collection.
No, that makes sense that you played the worst 2 and then stopped.
Yeah,
I get it.
It made me...
So,
I always thought about getting back into it.
Do you think they're like working with the lore in the sense where Sora was like the only DLC character not invited into He didn't get an invitation.
Yo, that motherfucker bars his way in, dude.
He used the kingdom key to open up the door to walk into a different dimension.
That's oh shit. You know what? I didn't even really think about that, where they didn't have like an invite thing for him. Like Mario picked up a piece of flame, and it's like, yo, Sora just is here now. He opened it. He literally just opened his own way in.
He's like, "What's up, motherfuckers? I'm here."
He comes in, he starts flying around like Peter Pan. When there he is.
In the Kingdom Hearts world, it just kind of makes sense because like the Kingdom Hearts world isn't a world like ours. It's not like an Earth. It's a bunch of like right now where the world exists is a bunch of separated existences of different levels of light and dark that exist. And the Smash World that we just saw was a deep manifestation of darkness that turned people into nothing. They were just completely nothing. And the light, Sora coming in, turned them back into people, which is what that whole series is even about. So it's like, dude,
it's kind of nutty. It's kind of nutty.
They really thought this through. Just saying. Kingdom Hearts is crazy.
Imagine if they're like, okay, listen, there's no more fighters, but what there is a new single player experience coming out at the end of them. Just because they actually managed to secure Sora, it's in the game, they know it's real, and they're like, okay, we can finally drop the single player story that we've been working on.
We've been wanting.
Yeah. Imagine.
Yep.
Okay, well,
what else have we been playing besides Metroid? Anybody play anything else?
I got two other things I still need to talk about.
Is it demo time?
One of them short is this little visual novel I played called Milk Inside a Bag of Milk Inside a Bag of Milk. It is a 25-minute long visual novel that is about someone with a severe mental disability, and they're compartmentalizing their trauma through trying to live their life in a visual novel. And you're this third party seeing through their eyes, and they're talking to you as they're trying to buy a bag of milk at the store. And it's very good. It's very it's for a game about mental trauma. It's very good at being creepy without making fun of the mental disability. There's a part where it's like it shows these like this like splash of pixels, and the character breaks the fourth wall and says, "Hey, what does that look like?" And you're like, I don't know, like because they just got done talking about like ice cream or something, and you just type whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, that's my dad when he got splatted on the floor, and that's what I saw, and I just haven't been able to like live after this." You're like, oh. So, and it just like, you see through their world, you see like people are aliens and they're just trying to deal with this trauma. It's really cool. They're releasing a sequel that's going to like expand on it and make it like a 10-hour long game about this character. So I'm excited about that. And then the big game actually that I want to talk about is The Good Life, coming out October 15th. This game took me by surprise. So I started it up. I was like, okay, it's a sweary game. It's gonna run like shit. It's gonna look like shit. Okay, let's go. It runs beautifully. It looks good. It is fun. And
this is like that Vince McMahon meme where you're talking about a sweary game. You list all these things and you just get increasingly more just like in awe of the world as it is.
Yeah, so the kind of like hook for it is it's like Deadly Premonition meets Harvest Moon and Shenmue. It's very fucking cool, right? So you're a New York City journalist that gets a job from this third party, like, hey, we want you to go investigate this town that is the happiest town on planet Earth. Everyone's happy here, and we want to know why people are happy. So you go to this town, you're this like really pessimistic New York City lady. Like you first get there, and the first person you see is like, hey ma'am, how's your day? And she goes like, man, this place is a goddamn piece of shit. Like she's like hates this. She's just so negative. And they say, yeah, we got you a house. You know, it's over here because we know you're doing your job. So we just have this house for you to stay in, blah, 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 because we're the nicest place on planet Earth. So you go to this place, you go to this house, and you need to like upload pictures for your job, but you have dial-up internet. So anytime you upload pictures, it takes forever for them to get uploaded to the server. And that's the way you make money, is by taking pictures around town. Like you have this website that shows like the hot trending topics. You take pictures to make money. So it's like, I need money, but how long is it going to take to upload this damn picture? So it's like, you got to figure out the timing.
So I just popped into the Steam page, and I don't know if this is like live, but it says
playing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they literally just started uploading a bunch of photos, and was like, yeah, if you notice, when you upload multiple photos at once, the speed drops because, the internet's so shitty. So if you're uploading more than one thing, it goes slower. It's like, it's a small thing, but I really hope people take notice.
It's so good. It gets better. It gets better. So this town has a curse, dude. It's cursed. My God. People turn into dogs and cats at night. You see this? These are the townspeople, and you have quests that are tied.
Oh my God!
That are tied to your dedication to being a cat or a human, or a cat or a dog. So like you have this like weird rivalry between the cats and dogs, and people are like, hey, like, I know you like the cat, so I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Or I know you like the dogs, and I'm not going to talk to you anymore. So it's like this weird relationship system inside this game, and it is fucking good, dude. Like, it is so wholesome and like full of life. Like the demo is like 8 hours long. I played maybe an hour. I said, okay, I know I'm gonna play this game. It's coming out on Game Pass. Like, I'm in. But yeah.
Oh, this is the Sora game that's coming to Game Pass?
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Hell yeah.
This is gonna consume me.
Pause this video right here.
I played this at PAX like 3 or 4 years ago too.
Go back to okay, play it. Play it a little bit, pause it right here. You see that guy? He is the carpenter in town, and he is in full night garb. He's walking around with like an old accent, like, "Prithee thee, my lady," and he's like, but his weapon is a big like saw, and his shield is a triangular measuring tape. He's walking around. He's just chilling, and he can like walk into people's like places where they work and talk to them, and like each one has their own quirks and these like weird personalities. One guy's really old and he talks really loud. He's screaming at you. Like, it is, and he has like a robot arm. Yeah, and he take pictures of stuff, and he can cook, and he can farm, and you have all these relationship things. It surprised me at how good this game is. I was so excited. Yeah, that comes out the 15th. So
all right,
that's soon.
This is such the year of just like true bizarre takes on video game development, and just like even extremely established devs and they're just like, you know what, that old shit, that's tired. I'm done. It's time to
it's perfect. It's perfect that this game is coming out now, because this is a game that has been coming out for 7 or 8 years at this point, and had the Kickstarter and everything.
Kickstarter, yep.
I'm just glad that
is the year it comes out. That's perfect.
I'm just glad that he was able to dedicate time to make it a good game just on a mechanical level. But yeah, that's what I was shocked with the most, is like, dude, this game's running at high frame rates. It looks good. Like, what is this sweary game I'm playing? Is this like
where's the catch?
Where's the like, where do I have to download the third-party client to watch the cutscenes like I gotta do with Deadly Premonition on my PC? Like,
oh my God.
He's such a nice guy, too.
Dude,
he really is. Yeah,
the sweetest man. I met him at PAX as he was showing off this game, and he's just the nicest man.
I think that's like the weirdest part about the whole thing to me. It's just like it's just
that's the weirdest part. No, I'm just kidding.
no, it's one of it. It just I don't know. It's just the juxtaposition of like, especially with some other, especially Japanese devs that make really weird stuff, and they're just like, I mean, they're all like nice in their own way, but when it comes to their games, it's like some of them are kind of like hard. It's like, you know, and it doesn't seem that way about Swery, even though he makes really weird fucking games. And so I've always found his juxtaposition has always been especially interesting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he follows me on Twitter, so hey friend.
Me too. Yeah. He's so nice. Yeah.
How about the fact that Deadly Premonition 2 came out only last year? It feels like it was so much longer ago.
It sucked, and not in the good sweary way.
Yeah, not in the
one way.
Yeah. Do you remember when that game came out and when Deadly Premonition 1 came out and Destructoid gave it a 10, and people were like, "This is such a troll! Oh my god!" Blah, blah, blah.
It was Destructoid gave it a 10, and like IGN gave it a 1.
Yeah,
and it was just like, what the fuck is this game?
Yep, and I'm just glad that he's able to make.
They gave it a 2, JJ.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Come on.
Oh yeah, and I gotta tell you, if you shower, change your clothes, and eat a nice meal, you get a dedicated button to skipping. So if you want to be happy and skip around town,
is that in real life or in the game?
In the game and in real life too. But yeah, you hold down B and she starts skipping, and you can hit cats and dogs if you want. Then also a character gets murdered, and you're trying to solve a murder on top of everyone being cats and dogs, and trying to figure out why everyone's so happy. And everyone's British except the main character. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, this game's sick.
They have healthcare. That's why they're all so happy.
Yeah. Okay, now we can talk about the big Metroid in there.
Anything else beyond? Okay, all right. No, let's talk Metroid. I'm just gonna let this game play, and this is actually from Nintendo's their 20-minute stream that they did the other day. So kudos to Nintendo, and I'm too lazy I didn't actually record anything of myself playing. So here we go. I'll just play this. Let the team talk in the background there. But Metroid Dread. We're all playing Metroid Dread. Who's raise your hand if you've completed it? I know one person's completed it. There you go. All right. Came out on Friday. We did an awesome Metroid special. If you guys would like to, feel free to listen to that. JJ and I went to the history of chronological history of Metroid.
Sorry, I wasn't there.
That's all right. We actually had a good show. Thank you. No, just kidding. No,
because
it would have been double the length of time. No, but Metroid Dread. I'm letting you guys talk. I don't want to jump in on this one. Go. Somebody go.
Okay. I'm gonna say I've been playing this game out of order. I've been intentionally going to places they don't want me to go and getting power-ups they don't want me to have, and that's how the game's designed. It's gonna let you do that. I'm just gonna say two things. I haven't played that much in it, but the animations are pretty fucking phenomenal, right? Like the subtlety of how she touches the world is very cool. I really love how you walk up to a wall and she puts her hand on there. How she walks in water. It's crazy good.
I love when you do the aim button. So I think it's like a Z, or I think it's a R. Yeah. Sorry, you'll aim. And she'll kind of put her sight out there, and then if you turn your body the other way, she'll
do a half turn.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
They really paid a lot of attention to the
all
small
the contextual
things. Yeah, and that does a lot for me. And the lighting is just pretty sick. It's pretty insane lighting. I think it might be the best looking Switch game. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. But that's really all I have to say. It's fun it's the best feeling Metroid too. I think it's 2D ones. So
it's crazy because as much as I like the Prime games, this is the sweet spot for me. The Metroid I want to play, and to have it be, especially after how kind of okay Samus Returns was. just to go back to a very solid, classic Metroid with some twists, but not enough to really just like redefine the franchise in any way, shape, or form. But it just feels so good. There has been no point in this game that I've been playing it where I could have blamed the game. It's mostly me. I recognize it when I'm like, well, okay, I didn't read the cues right. I fucked that one up. I'm sorry, Samus.
It's really impressive how they designed the Emmy rooms, like how you're just like running through like the world, just exploring, and then you run into one of these and you're like, fuck, and then you just like start panicking, and then you look at the map after you get out on the other side, you're like, what the fuck, like how did I get over here, like what is this? It's like this really cool panic that they're able to incite in you.
Okay, so how have people played it? Have they been doing handheld or docked or what's going on?
Oh, I did docked 100%.
Yeah. I've been playing more in handheld.
I've been playing more in handheld, but I started playing in docked, and I was really impressed. You don't really get the full feel of the S unless you're docked, because those Emmy rooms in docked mode are really fucking cool looking. They got this. Yeah. They've got this like film grain, like a static.
The grain filter on the Emmy rooms is one of the more. I mean, like I would even like probably call it like a storytelling item. But yeah, I mean it controls and drives like the whole game. I mean it is this. It is the storytelling element. It is the kind of gameplay and the pacing element of the whole game. It's immaculately done.
Mega Cannon's cool too. It really adds some tension when you're actually going on against those Emmys, man.
Dude, it is so good. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is, which is crazy. I just want more Metroid. Like, give me more Metroid. Like, do I have to keep asking for this? Like, it's been 19 years. Hello, like, give me more.
Yeah, I mean, it's I mentioned this earlier in the Discord. It's just like, we waited because I think Fusion was probably. I mean, this is truly the successor to Fusion in a lot of ways. And Fusion, for me, was my personal favorite of Metroid before this one. And it's like, yo, dog, Fusion was 19 years ago.
That's crazy.
That's basically what we were talking about on the Metroid show, was like, it's been so long since there's been like a fully new, just like Metroid in this style. Like even Corruption was, Prime 3 was fucking ages ago at this point. Like nobody counts other M in any way, shape, or form. So,
Nintendo doesn't either.
Yeah, that's true. They try not to. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what the content of Metroid Prime Hunters was.
Yeah,
the DS one.
Listen to the podcast. You'll
listen to the podcast. So it's funny with the Emmy stuff because they make a big deal about it in all the previews that they show. Everything was about the Emmy, and while it does like terrify you like the first time you try it, or the first couple times you get to it, you really start to understand it. It's more of a way to set the pace and not necessarily to freak you out. I think when you mentioned, I think JJ or Taylor, you mentioned it. It was really a way to get you to keep moving and to explore in a certain way. And I think it works so well because I don't have tension anymore when facing the Emmy. I'm always I'm able to avoid them. I know kind of my way to get, how to get away from them. I know when to use the cloaking mechanism. I know when to like hang from the ceiling to not be noticeable. But it's a great way to get me to move in a certain direction, to solve puzzles in a certain way, and to figure out ways to break the game too, which is kind of funny because I've actually done that when the Emmy has kind of chased me around a little bit. But there is no set. So when the Emmy catches you, you're like, oh fuck, I gotta redo this whole section again. All right, whatever. It's not like you're terrified or anything of the thing catching you. You're just disappointed that you have to go through the whole thing again until that one time, that 1 in like 15 time where you're able to hit the flash at the right time and break out of the hole and then slide under the Emmy. You're like, oh fuck yeah, that worked, awesome, saved my ass. And that's happened to me a couple times.
Yeah, it's like it's a cool storytelling mechanic, right? Because it's like the first time you see it, you're scared, like Samus is scared, but then you get more experience, just like she does. So it's like, and the way they capture her like attitude in the cutscenes is so interesting and like impressive. Like the way just like a subtle movement of her like hips, or like the way she'll like move her shoulders is like, it's crazy the amount of character that they're giving her in this game,
I think only Taylor, since he's beaten the game, will know. But like all of that sass and everything really pays. They really has a good payoff. There's a big lore dump at one point.
But it's like you go through story stagnation. It's literally just Adam talking, like kind of almost kind of like yelling at you for like for the entire game, and then you get to the last 30 minutes, it's like, yo, dog, here's everything that's happened in the entire Metroid game. Like, the entire Metroid storyline, by the way, here's everything that's ever happened.
There was a moment in that lore dump where that made me just hoot and holler, too. So.
I was like, what? Dude, there is a sick fadeaway that happens at the end of the story as you go towards the last boss, and it is fucking sick. It's so good.
Dude, there's no reason for them to not make like a new Metroid every 2 or 3 years. Like, why are they not doing it?
This particular.
It's not big in Japan. It's not big in Japan.
Okay, I don't care. Like,
Nintendo's also coming to terms with the fact that like they can make games not targeted at Japan and like still call them successes. That has been happening over the last 5 years.
This is already, I think, from what I read, the best-selling Metroid game. So it's like,
I think it's because I've been tweeting it nonstop that it's going to be the best-selling Metroid game.
It's actually just because of Jeff Grubb.
It's just and has Jeff been saying the same thing? Yeah.
It's like what did we say? The two best-selling were the first one and the first Prime, and those like barely broke a billion units.
Yeah.
Well, like, I think what really gives the game a benefit is we have Hollow Knight that came prior, and everyone loves Hollow Knight. Like, there's not many people that say that game sucks, because it's a very highly regarded game. And you have the Metroidvania and the indie game scene just in general. So it's like Metroid not being a part of that conversation until now is kind of sad. But now that Nintendo hopefully sees that there's a success here, they're like, oh, we could print more money by doing every 2 years doing a new 2D game, or even just imagine as a super remake in this engine with this lighting.
Yeah, I can see that happening next. Actually,
come on,
like super, just remake Super Infusion. In this engine, and I'll be happy.
I mean, listen, they did it with they did it with Super Metroid and the Fusion engine, right? Isn't that what Zero Mission was?
Yeah, Zero Mission was the first game.
Was it? Oh, it was the first one. Okay. Yeah. Well, then, guess what? Super Metroid is primed to be remade.
It 100% is.
It really is. Yeah.
Dude, this lighting engine is nuts.
It does. The lighting engine pulls a lot of weight.
The glow on all of the lava is ridiculous in this game.
So there's only one thing. I had a couple gripes. Visually, the one thing that looks really bad, especially on screen, on docked mode, were the flamethrowers.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
It was so weird because like every other particle effect looks good and is in engine, and then flamethrowers are there, and it's like, why are these? They're like 2-dimensional.
Yeah, they're like GIFs.
15 FPS GIFs on the screen. I'm like, okay, like there's free flowing lava everywhere, and then but we have these flames that are half FPS. It was just that part was really weird.
There's legitimate water physics in this game, and they can't.
Yeah, and then the flamethrowers. It was so weird because the flamethrowers are used like 4 times throughout the map. They're not like all over the place. And I did have some FPS drops, and none of them were related to flamethrowers. So I don't know.
So I
just love opening a map, zooming out, and trying to figure out where to go next. It's
Yeah.
such a good feeling.
That was the other thing.
One thing I was
Go ahead,
going
Dog.
to say.
No, you go first.
Fuckers right here. These little fuckers, these little flying manta rays, in the combination with the butt shooters, the farters. I hate facing off against these guys because
my favorite part actually.
Y'all weak.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's the enemy design is so good in it. Like the environmental enemies in this game are so good because it reminds me of the damn bird in Ninja Gaiden on the last level, which is like you're like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And these little fuckers come out of nowhere, or the ball will explode at the right spot and knock you back. You're like, I gotta go through that whole area again, but I'm like lower on life, and it's so well designed, and it's really commendable at the placement and the design of these enemies. I think it's just so
dude, the lighting on her suit when you go into that dark spot and you just her green like. It is nuts, dude. This game is like the best Metroid game, hands down. Like I wouldn't even say there's any that is like close.
I'm having the most fun with it. I love the difficulty. I love the difficulty in the game.
So I was a bad boy and I downloaded it on my computer last night because Kotaku told me to. This game at 60 frames a second at like 4K is nuts. It holds up so well, and those flamethrower things run at like 10 frames a second. It's crazy. I don't know why, but because I was playing,
time-bending flamethrowers.
It's almost as if they just added them. Like, we should add some flamethrowers here. Like, at 0 hour.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my god, this fucking film grain! It's so good.
So good.
Also, like the immediate music change when you get into the rooms.
The music's
sick. Completely asked about the music. The music is so good. The sound effects are so good,
and they know exactly when to use the iconic Metroid music at the right time too.
It's so good.
There's some, especially during some lore scenes where they'll start really going deep into this Metroid stuff, and
the Emmy sound when an Emmy is in the room and you hear the little whistle. It's like a playful whistle, but this thing is out to murder you.
I like the way Adam talks. Is that his name?
Yeah, I like
Adam.
Yeah, he's great.
Adam's great because it's like
he sucks, but in the best way.
He's like, it is a very dire situation. You will die. There is no escape. There is zero chance. You will die. Here's the next area. Here's how you will die.
He's like David from
from Alien.
Alien, like that's kind of what this game feels like. That's what Metroid should feel like. It should feel like an alien thing. I mean, because
they capture that pretty well when you're in the Emmy rooms. I feel like it's like listen, the Emmy are here. You can't kill them unless it's extreme circumstances. The only thing that you can do is get away from them. It's so good.
It really does revert the series finally back to the Alien beginning because it's like we finally have an alien or a beast or being in the Emmy that you have to get away from it. Like you can't just stay away from it unless you in that weird situation.
Oh, dude, that fight that they just did when those rings popped out. I was like, it's the mother brain, dude. Like I was freaking out. I was like, what the fuck?
I love that when you get the Omega Cannon and it puts everything on high alert.
I fucking did this thing too. I'm so glad that I approached this the same way, which is I just stopped and I waited for this Emmy to come down, and then I shot it and I ran, waited again.
Yeah, no, it's such a cool design. I don't know, whoever came up with that idea for the Omega Cannon is smart. Like, that's like a smart ass way to do that.
And again, how awesome this is my favorite suit. By far my favorite Metroid suit. Like great colors. Oh, it's sick.
Yeah, you only have it for like the first quarter of the game, so
then you get the
enjoy it.
Gravity one.
No, you get the various suit. The various suit first.
Oh, sorry, I'm not playing in the normal person order.
You still get the various suit first, idiot.
I know. I like the Gravity one a lot.
The Gravity suit's it's pretty sick. Wait till you get to the last one. The map is, in my opinion, top 3 of the greatest design improvements that they have made across comparatively to at least any other Metroid games in the series history. There are things that you can do with this, which is good because the map is much larger than previous Metroid games that make it actually usable. And it's just like, dude, the map is so good. Other than slight load time issues occasionally with it,
elevator load.
Yeah, that's the only downside. Like if you're,
I love that cutscene.
Hey, step on the elevator, and then it's gonna draw you a line, and then you're gonna wait 6 seconds, and then it's going to ask you if you want to go, and then if it turns out you made a mistake, you still have to wait those like 11 to 15 seconds. That part kind of sucks, but other than that, I mean, you can, like, let's say you just got a new weapon, you just got the Morph Ball Bomb, which I don't think is a spoiler. Guess what? You turn into a Morph Ball and you have a bomb.
Guess what? It's Metroid. Yeah.
No. So let's just say you acquired the Morph Ball Bomb. And of course, the first thing that you do is you break a Morph Ball Bomb block, right? And let's say that you discovered one of those blocks previously, and that's reflected on the map. So you can go there, zoom in on the map, and then you can press Y to highlight the Morph Ball Bomb block. And it will then highlight on the map for you every other location of Morph Ball Bombs on the whole map. You're like, okay, I just got this new ability. Where else on the map can I use it? And it will highlight all of them across the whole map, and you can just zoom out and see, like, these are probably the next places I have to go. It's literally probably the best thing that they did across the whole thing.
It's the first Metroid game where I'll pass something and I'll be like, oh, I can't do this thing yet, but I cannot wait to come back to do it. Like, usually it's like, oh, fuck, I know there's something up there. Fuck, I have to. It's probably going to be the end game where I finally get the right laser or finally get the right bomb to come back to this stupid.
So this is the weirdest thing about Metroid is that, like, there's no, other than I think the Omega, I don't think there's anything that's brand new. Like, every other weapon and upgrade that you get is 100% the classic. You lost all your powers, get all your powers back. And all of the, like, and almost even the upgrade path is identical to Fusion. Like like your reallocation of your power ups is almost the same.
Because this game takes place like within months after Fusion, so that's
life. Yeah. I can't believe that I landed on another planet and lost all my powers again. It's only been 2 months. But what that affords you is that you lose all the powers and you pass by things, and because the design is as on point as it is, you pass by it and you're like, I bet I know what that is, and I don't have that upgrade yet. Yes. And one of the cool things was getting the Super Morph Ball Bomb. And you can get the ammo packs for the Super Morph Ball Bomb, and it's like you just got an upgrade for a thing that you don't know what it is yet. And I'm like, I know what it is, but they don't tell you until you get it.
Yeah, dude. So I played Hollow Knight for the first time this year in the spring. It's the first time I ever played it. And what's interesting to me is how that game is pretty much considered like this is the height of the genre. Like this is where we're at. And Metroid Dread feels like an equivalent or even kind of like pushing above what Hollow Knight did.
Interesting.
It's really an interesting thing to see, especially coming from Nintendo. Because Nintendo, recently, they've actually been setting trends, which is cool, but they used to not. So now it's pretty interesting to see them come back to this genre and be like, we've been paying attention. Let's kind of push some more boundaries and see how far we can get this thing to go. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And I hope Mercury Steam just becomes this Metroid house. There's like, hey, keep making
Studio,
these games,
I could see, you know what? I could see them getting. I hate to say it, I could see them almost getting some type of purchase from Nintendo, because Nintendo they bought Next Level Games recently, or whatever it was they bought.
I saw true Nintendo insider Jeff Grubb on Twitter, and he said that unless somebody shows interest in purchasing it, Nintendo won't act. So I'm going to treat that as fact. Yeah. Even if I misquoted him, it's probably accurate.
What did Mercury stream? They did the
Castlevania
Lord of Shadows, yeah. That's why whenever I was like Bayonetta 3 is not going to be made by Platinum. It's going to be made by Mercury Steam. That's why I said that, because I was like, this game is just whatever. But apparently Mercury Steam knows how to make a game. So
yeah, here's their run. Ready? They got American McGee presents Scrapland.
Oh my god!
A game called Zombies for the Nokia phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but not just any Nokia phone. We're talking about like mid 2000s, like the 6000s Nokia phones.
Then they did Clive Barker's Jericho. You guys remember Clive Barker's Jericho? I actually remember that game.
I do.
Up until
then, a bunch of Castlevania games.
Now I do.
Yeah, a bunch of the Castlevania games, and then Samus Returns, and it did Space Lords. They threw Space Lords in there. That was the free to play game.
Free to play, yeah.
Free to play.
I don't even think that. Yeah, that just came out on like PS5 or something. Something like that. Yeah.
It did.
Raiders of the Broken Planet, Space Lords, whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's I'm loving this game. The Switch has been best Zelda game by far, best Metroid game. Okay. I know. Link to the Past is pretty damn awesome. Best Metroid game, I feel best Mario game in Odyssey.
Questionable.
Fuck your face. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's they're hitting really well on their major first party games.
It's nice to see them just kind of go back and just like making high quality next versions of their games instead of just kind of reiterating on like, it's just like what we did previously, but just a little different. Like this time it's like, now it's just like, this is what the next version of our game.
Yeah, I mean the Wii U was truly a lost generation of games. Unfortunately,
the only good game that from Nintendo that came out on the Wii U was Bayonetta 2. Like.
I think
Super World is really fucking good.
Super Mario. I would say that Super Mario Maker was more interesting than Super Mario 3D World. That's my opinion.
Yes, for sure. But
like
Metroid Dread, man.
Anyway, so the best Mario game on the Switch is actually Super Mario Sunshine. Are we in agreement here?
Hey, thanks for joining us on. No, but okay, Metroid Dread. Any final words about Metroid Dread before we?
It's great.
A half hour.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I could probably find some other things to say about it, but
I expected to not like it, and I love it. So
listen, the bosses are definitely hard. But I think that it's justified. I don't know. I mean, like, in the only one that's particularly bad is the last boss, because you have to go through an elevator load in order to fight it again. I don't think that counts as a spoiler. That's literally, otherwise every other thing, dying to the Emmys, dying to anything else. It's particularly, I mean, it's bad if you die in the world. Like, but they're very, very generous. Like literally, just kill the enemies. It's okay.
Yeah.
You literally won't die. Counters give.
Yeah, there are like boss fights like load you before the boss fight.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, if you die to an Emmy, you literally respawn at the door where you entered the Emmy zone.
Yes,
probably 30 seconds ago. It's so good. It's like, hey, do you want to learn? Guess what? It's you have to. But yeah, I mean, it's good.
It's a game with good like design language because it definitely makes you use all of the things you're about to use in this particular like boss fight before
it does it perfectly.
You're gonna have to this in order to get into this room. You're gonna have to do the light dash thing, and also keep in mind that you're probably gonna have to use this exact light dash against this boss right now. So that kind of shit.
It hits on all the points that a good game should do. Like it tells you how to play it without telling you how to play it. That's how a good game should be. Yeah. So
anyway,
Metroid Dread. There we go.
Good game.
Good game.
Impressive.
An impressive podcast. We're at 1 hour and 50 minutes.
Please end it before we get any closer.
With that, thank you everybody for joining us on this beautiful Monday evening. I've already posted the podcast on the site and it's not even completed yet. How would I?
Oh my god.
Amazing. Taylor, or the guy right up there with my blurry pen. Thank you very much, man. As always.
Oh, so happy to be here.
Do your giant finger pointing to Zach again. There we go.
There you go, Zach.
Get that thing on my face.
It doesn't work with
it doesn't work for
wouldn't it be funny if something like appeared on the side?
All of a sudden, right? I did it wrong. I just it just starts coming in through this
Disney Compendium.
Yeah, Disney Compendium, baby. I guess technically.
And you can find us all over at the Discord over at SideQuesting.com. It's a lot of good conversations in there. Definitely join us. We talk about everything. If you have a life problem,
come talk with me and Zach about VTubers since we're the only ones.
Yeah. Or potentially about Saga. We might have a Saga cast.
Saga. Might have
Yeah. We'll save that for later. With that, thank you everybody. We see you on the next side quest. Toodles. Bye-bye. SideQuesting.com. Bye. We love you.